Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. This is Todd with Industrial Comfort. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool glass bottle cutting jig. Now it's adjustable so you can cut many different size bottles with it. If you want to go with a sort of standard wine bottle, you can very easily do that and cut yourself what I sort of consider a normal drinking glass. Or if you want to do maybe a shot glass or a smaller cup with a beer bottle, you can adjust the jig accordingly. And it has these locking T-track knobs that will keep everything in place. Very cheap project, very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Now I've got an extra foot-long section of T-track. This is made of aluminum, and I believe it's made by PowerTech, and I'll put a link in the description for where you can get these. Now, I have pre-marked where I'm going to drill some holes for the corresponding bolts or screws here. Now, I have no idea where I got these, but they're the right size that I'm looking for at about a number 4 screw. So what I've done here is, of this foot-long section, I'm going to cut it in half, which is going to give us 2 equal 6-inch sections. I then marked an inch in from what will be the end of each 6-inch section. So at 1 inches, 5 inches, 1 inch, 5 inch. So I'll drill these out. I believe I'll probably need about an 1/8 inch drill bit to accommodate these number 4 screws. And then I'm going to slightly countersink them. It's not really necessary, but I'd like it to look clean. And the reason it's not necessary is that the upper part of the T-track here is hollow. So this will slide cleanly over any exposed bolt heads or screw heads. Now we are going to have to also mount screws underneath here to attach to the slide. So it probably is just best practice to countersink these, which I'm going to do anyway. A quick correction, the holes I drilled underneath were actually 9/64, not 1/8, and it will still give you a pretty snug fit. So if you don't have a metal bandsaw like this one, you can use a hacksaw, and I've used some painter's tape just to keep everything in place because these are 2 independent pieces as I cut this. In order to create the frame for this bottle cutter, I have a 3/4 inch piece of plywood that I cut out at 8 inches wide by 14 inches long. Now I went a few inches longer than I think we need to account for some extra space if we want to clamp this to a workspace. So as you can see, it's plenty of space to account for both the width and the length here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is take a 4-inch piece by 8-inch piece of, again, it's 3/4 inch plywood. I'm just going to sort of stick this on the end there. And then from the previous step, I'm going to take these T-track slides, I'm just going to pop them on the sides here. Now, I have a piece of 1/2 inch plywood. It is not cut to size, but I'm just going to leave this on top as a reference point. Now, I have a doubled up piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and this is going to serve as one of the supports for the bottle. So I'm going to have a support on the end, and I'm going to have a support that slides back and forth if we want different size cuts on our bottle. So I'm going to stick this on the end here, and you'll probably, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll do it again. I'm going to scribe a line along the bottom here. This is going to tell us where to cut our angles for the bottle support. Now I've got another doubled up piece of plywood here that I am going to do I'm not going to cut any lines, but I want to make sure that when we do cut the angles, that the sliding set of supports matches the same angle as the rear supports. And in order to do this, I had to kind of handicap it a little bit, and we're going to make sure that we have, however much this is, about 1 inch of space on the bottom here. So for the next step, we're going to cut both of these in 1/2, and then measure out the corresponding angles that we need. these are the two pieces of wood that I showed you before, and we've just cut these in half at the center point. So these are each 4 inches in width. So what we're going to do now is draw a line from this corner to this corner and make our cuts, which is going to create kind of a V here, which is going to serve as the cradle for the bottles. And this is how everything looks cut out. So we're going to start by gluing this into the back, and I'll probably use some brad nails just to keep everything together as well. That's not necessary if you have the patience to let the glue set up. Now I'm going to mark out 2 inches for the space, the clamp space, in case we feel we need it. I'm just going to use my straight edge here. We'll get the 2-inch line marked. And then I'm going to apply I'm going to use a combination of both wood glue and CA glue. The CA glue will allow us to set up really quickly, and then the wood glue will give us a really nice permanent bond. Then we'll do the same thing for these blocks as well. It's now time to mount the T-track rails that we cut and drilled from an earlier step. Now I have a piece of 1/2-inch plywood here that I've got in the center. Now this is more or less an optional step. I'm also just using it as a reference to help us mount the T-tracks to the appropriate locations. Now this is measured out at 5.5 inches wide to account for the 1.25 inch width of these. So I've mounted some double-sided tape to these slides, and actually I'm going to remove the top part, and I'm going to line this up with the edge. Okay. We'll press that in place, and then we'll put our spacer board down, and then we will mount the other track. Then we've got our screws from the earlier step that we used to as a reference to drill and countersink these. So we'll just mount these with screws. In order to create the stop for this sliding jig, I'm using a little threaded knob here from an earlier project, and I'll put a link in the description for where you can get this. This is a 1/4 inch by 20 thread count, and I have marked out at 5/8 of an inch down, and the reason I did that is I wanted as little clearance as possible between the stop nut here, or stop knob, and the end of the jig, so that we'd have as much movement as possible. So I've got a 1/4 inch drill bit right here, and we'll drill out this hole. Now don't forget, in order to get this to work, you're going to need to tap this with the corresponding 1/4 inch by 20 tap. With the tops of the tracks now drilled and tapped for these knobs, I've gone ahead and I put some double-sided tape here on top, and then I've marked out at 1.25 inches, which effectively centers the knobs here and gives us as little clearance as possible between the knob and what will be the top of the deck. So I'll put these in place, and I cut out a piece of, I think this is 3/8 plywood, and this is 8 inches wide to match the width of the jig here, and it's 4 5/8 deep to match what effectively is the difference between where we marked out this line here and the end of the track. So I'm going to lay this on top. I'm going to line everything up. And then I will pull this out, and we are going to drill and put some screws in here to make sure everything is mounted securely. Now, I found some number 6 screws that were 3/8 of an inch long. I used an 1/8 inch drill bit to get a hole started on the aluminum tracks, and then I used the screws to just make sure everything was secured. Now, I'm going to follow the same process as before to put the second set of supports in place here. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of wood glue. And I'm going to use some CA glue on the bottom just to get a very quick anchor.
Probably put a little too much wood glue on.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing as before. I'll probably tack these from below. Next thing we're going to do is take a standard glass cutter. Now this thing is about $6 on Amazon, and again I'll put a link in the description. I'm just going to take a hacksaw. There's actually a the part where the handle sort of tapers into the final segment of this glass cutter is where I'm going to cut. So I'm just going to cut right along this fold. And the thing I really like about these glass cutters is that they've got these notches that are conveniently going to act as slots for screws to keep this thing in place. With the head of the glass cutter now cut off, I'm going to mount it to the back of the sliding portion of the jig. Now I'm going to put a bottle in place as a reference point, and I am going to mount it right about there, and I'm just going to push the bottle out of the way ever so slightly. I don't want the head of the glass cutter to stick out too much because you might get an uneven cut. So I'm just going to use my pencil here to mark where I'm going to put my screws in place, and make sure that you have the openings here facing down, because the screws, and honestly I can't tell you what size, they look like number 4. I just happen to find them in a random pile of screws I had that would fit these slots. Now the pressure sort of going downward as a result of pushing the bottle down, you want to make sure that the screws are on the bottom so that they prevent the head from sliding down. So I'm just going to mark and drill these out with an 1/8 inch bit, and we'll mount this in place. Okay, it's time to give this thing a test run now that the cutter head is in place. Now, I've got a standard wine bottle here, and if I wanted to match, or I wanted to cut this bottle to match some glasses that we already have upstairs in the kitchen, I've gone ahead and I've marked a location here which you most likely can't see. I did it with an indelible marker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the base out here, and I am going to do so, where's the mark? Right there. So I'm going to do so until the cutting head matches the mark that we just made, okay? Then I'm going to tighten the knobs down to mark our final location. Now in order to use this, what you want to do is make sure that the bottle is seated against the back here. You want to apply downward pressure as you're rotating the bottle. And when you hear that noise, it means the glass is getting cut. There we go. That's how you use this adjustable jig to cut a bottle. Now the next step will be to use a thermal expansion to get this thing to crack along the line that we just cut. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.